The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a lovely young prince who wanted to fall in love. His parents, the king and queen, insisted that he marry a princess. One day, the prince packed up his things to go on a journey. I shall travel the world far and wide in search of a princess to fall in love with, he announced to his parents. The prince climbed tall mountains, crossed wide oceans, and ventured through dark forests, visiting many kingdoms along the way. In his travels, he met all kinds of princesses. He met princesses who were clever and those who were strong. There were princesses who told silly jokes and who painted beautiful pictures and who sang lovely songs, but not one of them was right for the prince. It seemed the prince would never find his perfect match. Disappointed, he decided to return home. Then late one night, a terrible storm rained down upon the kingdom. Thunder crashed and winds howled until there came a soft knock at the castle door. The prince slowly opened it. And who should be standing there but a princess? The poor girl was soaked from head to toe. Her beautiful clothes were muddy and torn. The prince thought he'd met every princess in the whole wide world, but he'd never seen this young lady before, yet she insisted she was a real princess. The prince woke the castle at once. Servants brought the princess fresh clothes and food. The king and queen came down to meet her. The princess told them all her story. I'm returning home from a long journey, she explained. She traveled often and loved exploring new lands, but this time she got stuck in the storm. As the princess spoke, the prince realized that they had sailed the same oceans and explored the same forests. The prince and the princess traded tales about their adventures. The more they talked, the more they felt the spark of true love. But the queen wasn't so sure. What if this girl was pretending to be a princess in order to marry her son? So the queen came up with a plan. She told her servants to gather all the mattresses and feather beds in the castle. Then she stacked the mattresses and feather beds as high as they could go. She snuck a teeny tiny pea under the bottom one. If the girl could feel that teeny tiny pea, she would prove herself a princess. The princess said good night to everyone. Then she climbed way, way up to the top of the bed. The princess tried to fall asleep, but something was bothering her. All night long she tossed and turned. Even on all those soft mattresses and feather beds, she just couldn't get comfortable. As the sun began to rise the next day, the princess climbed down from the bed. She was more tired than ever. When she arrived for breakfast, the queen said, "How did you sleep?" "Oh, I barely slept at all," the princess cried. "There must have been something in the mattress." The prince was overjoyed, and when the princess learned why, so was she. The princess and the prince were married, and they lived happily ever after, traveling the world and creating new adventures together. The end.